Right, yeah, good morning. I'm having to do this on my phone this morning. I'm having some real bad technical difficulties at the minute. But yeah, good weekend. It's Monday today, isn't it? So yeah, start the week. And I don't suffer from this sort of like, oh my God, it's Monday feeling. That's probably because I don't work 9 till 5. And I think I've got a very good friend who every week he posts, oh no, it's Monday, and then Ray, it's Friday, and just I don't know. For me, that just didn't know way to live your life. Try and enjoy the week. I mean, I've had some really good days on a Monday. I mean, I've said before I haven't got the younger Tuesdays, but that's another story. Yeah, I'm happy. Spurs won yesterday, so they're third in the Premiership. So yeah, that's looking all good. I won't talk about my other teams, but yeah, um, yeah, but yeah, that brings me on to sort of like competition really, and yeah, it's a funny one competition, isn't it? I mean. Yeah, I mean, I think, if you said to me, "Are you competitive?" Right, if you asked me that cold, I'd say, "Oh no, 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 not at all." And that's cobblers. That is really cobblers. I'll give you an example. I mean, this year I bought one of these. I don't know if you can see it. It's a what they call a Fitbit. It's a fitness tracker, and it it does your heart rate, how many calories you burnt, how many steps you take, and it figures out how your sleep was. You can use it to sort of like calculate how many calories you've taken in and how many going out. And anyway, yeah, and with it you can you can have like you can link up with friends and you can have a little bit of friendly competition going on. Well, one of the guys on my list is he's he's the guy who he came up with the idea of having what he calls them run fees, which is like people running taking selfies, and he me and him we don't even talk, but we ever since he's been on my list, we're constantly duking it out with each other. But it's doing me the world of good because it's pushing me to run further, faster, better than I have for a long, long time. It really has given me the sort of the boot that I've needed. So yeah, that's good, And I think I think the thing with competition, I think it is necessary, and we all need it. I mean, like there's this thing that I think it started in the '60s of like schools having non-competitive sports. Well, I mean, frankly, what a load of old cobblers, really. Because I mean, the kids know who's the fastest, who's the strongest, who's the best kisser, who's the funniest, whatever, because people do in an office situation. I'm sure everyone knows who works hardest, who's the one who always gets in on time, who's the one who's always late, who's the philanderer, who's the crawler. You know, it's all part of modern life, isn't it? And anyway, so yeah, I mean, we have to have a bit of competition. I think it's a little bit like anxiety. Like if you've got a little bit of anxiety, anxiety is what gets you up in the morning, what gets you going. But if you have too much of it, it can be debilitating. And I think it's the same thing with competition. I worked at a place in selling life insurance and pensions and stuff in the 80s. Horrible job. They say that if it oops that sort of work, if you're in any way sort of spiritual or left wing, you shouldn't do it. Well, that should have ruled me out on both counts. But as to be said, I did make quite a bit of money doing it, and enough money to buy into the pub. But I didn't buy into all the crap of it, and but oh, the guys in London in particular were a nightmare. You go down there, and that like the outside the office, which is like just outside the city. There's all Porsches and BMWs and oh dear, Golf GTIs all parked up, and they used to race everywhere. They'd race around the M25 for cases of champagne, and they'd see who could get the most sales in a month. You know, again for cases of champagne or cases of scotch or whatever. And you know, it's not surprising that so many people got missold, PPI and what have you, and insurance and mortgages and everything in the 80s, because they didn't give a damn. The idea was the customer welfare came first. Did it? Hell, it was what their commission was, and but it did bite them on the arse sometimes. I mean, there's a guy who sat opposite me, and he hacked into a load of builders. silly sod. He was telling them that this particular policy that we'd come up with, this new product, inverted commas, it could do everything. It'd even do the dishes if you asked it nicely. And of course, it was all nonsense. It was just a life insurance policy. He said you could use it to borrow, raise a mortgage against. Oh, come on. And luckily, in those days, they just introduced a sort of like a 2-week calling off period after you'd bought a life insurance policy or any sort of financial article like that. And of course, these guys looked at it and they went, pfft. And the way it worked was, we used to get paid, we'd get paid our commission up front as soon as people signed on the dotted line. But if they decided no, they didn't want it, then we had this thing what they call commission clawback, where you had to pay that commission back. And this guy, he sat on the desk opposite from me, and I remember one day because we used to get informed what our commission would be about a week before we got our money, and the envelopes came around with the commission, and mine was all right, He opened his, and he literally went grey. He went from white, and then he went grey, really ashen. And I said, mate, whatever's wrong. And he just sort of showed me it. And all these guys that he'd sold policies to, they'd all decided they didn't want to play anymore. Now, bear in mind that in those days that our commission was the first year's premium. So, for sake of argument, if someone took out a premium for say like £100 a month, that would be, commission would be 1,200 quid. So that's a lot of dough. And he opened his commission expecting to get some money, and it told him that he owed the company, about 4,000 or 5,000 quid or something. Oh dear. Didn't say anything to him after that. But yeah, so I mean, it's. Yeah, we need competition, and we need, it's a bit like I say, it's like anxiety. We need it to get us going, but like too much of it is definitely debilitating. So I think on that I'll leave it. Okay, thanks, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.